home.
Oh, I heard Mr. Carlo. You know, the last thing.
Yeah.
Go. Good morning, and thank you for coming. Today I'm announcing VTA's renewed commitment to fighting human trafficking in Santa Clara County. We know that across the country, and indeed throughout the world, public transit is an easily accessible and affordable way for human traffickers to transport their victims hidden in plain sight. Our frontline workers are in a unique position to see a lot of what goes on in our community, and they are often in critical positions to help people in trouble. About 8 years ago, VTA initiated training for our frontline workers, our bus and light rail operators, to understand the signs of human trafficking and to know what to do if they notice something suspicious. Just a couple of months after the first training, one of our bus operators was able to put it to good use, which resulted in the rescue of a kidnapped 4-year-old boy. Since then, the California state law has gone into effect, Assembly Bill 2034, or AB 2034, modeled after the training we provided here at VTA. The new law requires all transit agencies in the state to educate their frontline workers on how to spot human trafficking and what to do if they spot it. We are very proud of our local assembly member, Ash Kalra, who sponsored and pushed AB 34 into law. And we thank Ruth Silvertaub, who's here today, for her diligent work in that process as well. You'll hear from Ruth in a moment. Since 2015, we have continued to train new employees in human trafficking awareness, and thanks to an important grant from the Federal Transit Administration, VTA is now launching a renewed effort that includes education for our riding public. Our partners on this campaign are the Mineta Transportation Institute from the San Jose State University and the Santa Clara County Office of Gender-Based Violence Prevention. Both of these entities bring a depth of knowledge and experience in issues of public safety and the use of transit systems in human trafficking. And each will continue to contribute to this project in a manner that will respect equity and social justice. Our public messaging is meant to be sobering because this is a particularly dangerous issue for many people who are victimized. Most of those victims are women, many are children. You will see a lot of new messaging all over Santa Clara County telling you that human trafficking happens everywhere. And the point is that if and when you see something that they suspect may be human trafficking on transit, we urge them to report it so victims can get help and perpetrators can be punished. Starting this month, our riders and the wider community will see messaging on our buses and light rail trains, at the bus stops and light rail stations, and on our social media and website. We urge people to download our VTA Alerts app, which allows you to discreetly report any crime, including specifically human trafficking, on your mobile phone. We'll have a demonstration after this news conference on how that app works. The alert goes directly to County Communications, which then dispatches law enforcement to the scene. Today we have several experts joining us in support of our new campaign. You may know one of them, either a board member, Supervisor Cindy Chavez, who helped establish the county's Human Trafficking Commission. She is with us today. Cindy.
Thank you. Well, I am delighted to be here and so excited, both as a member of the VTA board and a member of the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors, to really thank VTA for taking this fight to the next level. It's so critical. In 2014, we established the commission to end human trafficking in our community, and it was really the vision of the South Bay Coalition to end human trafficking, and it allowed us to bring partners who hadn't worked together on this issue together for the first time countywide. One of them is the district attorney's office. I'm so excited there's a representative here. District Attorney Jeff Rosen, then Sheriff Lori Smith, and myself pulled this commission together. What came out of that is that we had one of our members, Noria Fernandez, who was here as the CEO of VTA prior to Carolyn, who served on that, and we were asking employers if they were willing to get their employees trained. And Nuria stepped up right away, and VTA leaned in right away. And I so appreciate the leadership of VTA, both as an employer, but recognizing the very unique role that public transportation and frankly all transportation play in giving us the ability to find perpetrators. Now, when we think about perpetrators, and you'll hear a little bit more about this, I'm certain, from the rest of our speakers, so I won't spend a lot of time saying this, but I think the point is that it does happen in plain sight. When you see something that's suspicious, we want to encourage people to make phone calls, but very unique. The transportation systems in our country give us an opportunity really to stop this, whether it's sex trafficking or labor trafficking, and there's both that we have to address in our community. I do want to just wrap up by saying this. I think the leadership of VTA, Ash Kalra, the district attorney, Jeff Rosen, then Sheriff Lori Smith, the South Bay Coalition to End Human Trafficking, Ruth Silver-Tove, who doesn't let any of us get away with moving too fast forward without making sure we're doing it the right way, has played a leadership role. The Office of Gender-Based Violence, the Office of Women's Policy. And I say all of that because what it means is that the deeper we get into our communities, the more we pay attention to our surroundings, the more opportunity that we're going to have to end human trafficking in our communities. And I'm just so excited with VTA's leadership on this, excited about the training program. I'm sure it'll be a model, again, for transit agencies across the country. And I'm very excited to see the new bus route, because this will make sure that everybody in our community has an opportunity to help us end the scourge of human trafficking. Thank you for letting me be a part of today.
Thank you. Thank you. And as Supervisor Chavez mentioned, the Federal Transit Administration, really, it was the current administrator, Noria Fernandez, while she was here, really did encourage the Federal Transit Administration and all other transit agencies to actually take a pledge to support training and awareness of human trafficking throughout the country. So that has been a huge effort on her part, and we're happy that she's able to be there and continue that effort for all the other agencies and what was started here with Supervisor Chavez and our other partners here. The Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office has one of the largest human trafficking units, enforcement units in the state. And today we're happy to have Patrick Vanier, who is the lead prosecutor in the Human Trafficking Enforcement Unit of the District Attorney's Office. Patrick.
Thank you. Well, good morning and Happy New Year. My name is Patrick Vanier. I am the lead prosecutor for the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office Human Exploitation Unit. And it's a pleasure to be here today on behalf of DA Jeff Rosen and the many county partners for the beginning of Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Over the last several years, my office has been a proud partner with so many county stakeholders as we expand out Santa Clara County's anti-human trafficking initiatives. Developing such partnerships, like with VTA, with the South Bay Coalition to End Human Trafficking, Community Solutions, the San Jose Police Department, and many other local, state, and federal entities, we've been able to grow our County Human Trafficking Task Force to one of the largest human trafficking task forces in the state of California. I speak for DA Rosen when I say that he couldn't be more proud to have the District Attorney's Office Bureau of Investigations managing this task force as we begin to expand, and we couldn't have done this without our friendship and our colleagues on the Board of Supervisors who have made such an investment in this important work. In a short period of time, LIGHT Task Force, the Santa Clara County Human Trafficking Task Force, and allied agencies have engaged in dozens of proactive investigations, weeding out both labor and sex trafficking offenders. Just this past week, LIGHT investigators worked collaboratively with the Prince George's County Human Trafficking Task Force in Maryland, arresting 29-year-old Donovan Dawkins of Lanham, Maryland, for human trafficking of a minor as he attempted to fly a 16-year-old juvenile female from San Jose, California, out to Maryland for purposes of prostituting out a child. First, I want to congratulate the task force on another successful investigation. I want to thank them for giving up their time with their families over the holiday to fly out to Maryland in order to take this child predator off the street. Second, this case underscores how our transportation apparatus in this country can be a location for these trafficking crimes. Creating awareness campaigns to bring attention to the scourge of human exploitation requires robust partnership. And my office is proud to be a partner with Valley Transit Authority in renewing efforts to promote awareness and fighting human trafficking along our county transit lines. Through a Federal Transit Administration grant, VTA has assumed a leadership role in the efforts by providing an educational campaign in bringing attention to human trafficking in this county, educating passengers, transit employees, and specifically frontline workers in identifying the indicators and the red flags for human trafficking. And when those offenses are made known, knowing who to report these crimes to so that law enforcement can get involved and hold these offenders accountable, and also, more importantly, recovering these survivors and getting them the assistance and the support services that they so desperately need. This is the work that helps us identify the Donovan Dawkins of the world and recovering vulnerable victims, both adults and child, and no longer have them become victims of human trafficking. I want to thank VTA in producing such an amazing awareness video and campaign and putting together the social media campaign and the digital messaging that allows those reports to be made to law enforcement. This is what is going to aid our collective fight in bringing human trafficking to an end in our county. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today and be part of this messaging and be part of kicking off Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. As I mentioned, much of the awareness training we do for our frontline workers, and most of them have received this training from Ruth Silvertaub, who is here today and conducts that training and has been with us for the last 8 years. So I'm going to introduce Ruth.
Thank you so much. And hello and Happy New Year. I'm the Legal Services Chair of the South Bay Coalition to End Human Trafficking. I'm also supervising attorney at Santa Clara University's Alexander Community Law Center and also Santa Clara's County's Office of Labor Standards Enforcement Legal Advice Line. I'm also a delegate to the commission, and I want to thank Supervisor Chavez for her leadership on that commission. It's been my great privilege, as you've heard, to provide human trafficking training for VTA for almost 8 years, and to continue to provide that training to all new employees on a continuing basis. I've been impressed by VTA's tireless efforts to raise awareness about the scourge of trafficking, as well as their enthusiastic support for employees who report suspicions of trafficking, like the hero bus driver you heard about, Tim Watson, who credited the human trafficking training for his quick thinking in averting a kidnapping of a child from Milpitas Library. During the training, several transit operators have provided tips while I was training that were shared with the South Bay Coalition and with law enforcement. We also, as you've heard, have a video that is really excellent and that features Community Solutions and DA Patrick Veneer. We begin the training with that video. Buoyed by the success of VTA's human trafficking training, the Law Center proposed to Assemblymember Colrad that it go statewide. The Law Center co-sponsored AB 2034 and worked with Assemblymember Colrad, the bill's author, to include language in the bill that models the statewide training on VTA's program. And VTA also had a very important part in getting that bill enacted. But VTA has gone far beyond mere compliance with AB 2034. In an ongoing effort to provide important information on human trafficking, VTA has produced an informative video and, in cooperation with the State of California's Department of Justice, has placed multilingual posters with resource information for victims and witnesses at VTA transit centers, bus shelters, and light rail stations. And this has been an ongoing commitment since the Super Bowl, and I've been very, very impressed with it. VTA has been on the cutting edge of human trafficking outreach, awareness, and education, and this new initiative is no exception, and this grant is a testament to their great work. VTA's human trafficking work has been nothing short of groundbreaking, and it has been an honor to provide training to their employees. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. I actually now, as one of the employees who received that training, as I mentioned, we have frontline workers who actually do receive the training, and I want to introduce Anu Sharma, who was a light rail operator and just recently joined the training department to help train operators as well, and has part of that. So I'm going to ask her to speak, and I want to congratulate her for graduating her first class of light rail operators yesterday.
Thank you. Hi, myself Anumeha Sharma, and I am a light rail technical trainer. Previously, I was an operator, and I operated the light rail for a few years, and I know how important role an operator play. We are the eyes for out there for the VTA. We interact with hundreds of people every day, new people every day. So I know it's important for operator to be ready for the situation like that, to look for the signs of a human trafficking. And that's where the training takes place. So I'm really feel like the training that we give it to operator, the training that we have received, even as an operator, the training that I had received, it was very helpful to be out there. As an operator, we deal with the public every day, and we have public servants. And then every day when operator, as a light rail operator, if I speak about, we go into the station, we look for the people on the platform, look for the signs for the distress, look for the signs if someone is being forced, look for someone's behavior. And then also we look for the people boarding, deboarding. So we are not just an operator who take a people safely from A to B end. Of course, that's our duty to do so, but also play the role of a hero that might save someone's life. And I believe that's important, and that's something has been possible with the help of the training that we have received. And I know as an operator, we was always aware when we do the walkthrough, which is when we go from one end to another end, look for someone that's quiet, look for someone that's crying, look for someone's behavior, that when you try to communicate with the passenger, maybe there's another person not letting them talk to you. So there's so many signs that can help someone to save their life. And now I feel that now I have a more critical role, because now I train the operators. And then, but it's been helpful as I have a previous experience that I can give the pass down to the new employees, tell them, share them my experience, and continue a reminder. Remind them every day when they operate that, we received the training, but sometimes we get so much focused on our duties, like, hey, I gotta go from one end to another end, I have a time I have to follow, but I feel honored that I am now playing the role of a reminder to them that your duty is to operate the train safely, but also just always look for passengers, the public's well-being. Always look for the sign that might save someone's life. And I believe even our little bit effort can save someone's life. It's all worth it. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Anu. One of the things that have mentioned to light rail operators, particularly in the graduation yesterday, is that our operators and our frontline workers, whether they be doing have a bus or operating a bus or a light rail, is that they are able to move people safely from one point to another, but it's also to make sure that they're safe. And it's not just about the transportation, but also making sure, they do play a role in the safety of each person and each passenger who comes on board. I do want to talk about one of our other partners in this, and that is the County Office of Gender-Based Violence Prevention. And Carla Collins is the director of that office, and we'll say a few words as well.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Carla Collins, and I oversee the Office of Gender-Based Violence Prevention for the county. We're part of the County Exec's Division of Equity and Social Justice, and we're very proud to be working with all of you. I'm here with champions who have been working so hard and tirelessly to address really difficult, hard realities for too many in our community. And we have a champion in Supervisor Chavez for all things gender-based violence. Our office oversees, and as a result of the work that so many have done, but that she really championed around sexual assault, domestic violence, and human trafficking. And we started in 2019, at the end of 2019, just 6 months before the pandemic. And so we're just now getting back on our feet and getting back out in person, which is a wonderful thing. It's so great that we're all together here, but working tirelessly with the Human Trafficking Commission, with our law enforcement partners, and really working with our community partners that we are so proud to be able to fund and partner with, to make sure that the resources are there so that if you suspect that someone is in need of services for any gender-based violence, but particularly for human trafficking, we have amazing resources that help the survivors to stabilize and then to reintegrate into our community and thrive, because everyone has the right to be safe, whether at home, online, at school, at work, and in the community. And we're so very, very proud that we're partnering with VTA, because this is what it takes. It's not about an office. It's not even about just one system. It's about everyone working together so that we can meet the needs of the community best. And VTA has modeled for us all how to do this. We're looking at what's happening with training at VTA, and in 2023 are taking our assessment of training at the county to a new level to make sure that we're doing exactly what VTA says needs to be done, and modeling that to ensure that everyone understands and knows how to identify human trafficking, and then how to connect people to the resources that are available. In 2022, our county, working together, served hundreds of local victims of human trafficking. And we know that doing better and working together, we can bring those numbers down, because we can end human trafficking. It shouldn't exist. The idea that modern day slavery is a reality all across the globe and here in Santa Clara County is unacceptable. And it is only with us all working together that we're going to be able to put an end to this. So we thank VTA for all that you are doing. We thank Supervisor Chavez and the DA's office and the community partners and Ruth and everyone for working together, not just in January, but every single day, so that we can put an end to this. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Carla. We want to make a difference in this campaign, but we want to know how much we're making a difference, and it helps us also tailor the program or to grow the program in the appropriate ways. So that's where the Mineta Transportation Institute from San Jose State University comes in. And I want to introduce Professor Yezbon Yagsi Sokot is here to talk specifically about that work. Thank you.
Hi all, thank you for having me. I am honored to represent Mineta Transportation Institute for this groundbreaking initiative and to be with all of you. The Mineta Transportation Institute at San Jose State University is a university transportation center that leads 3 multi-university competitively selected consortia. MTI's mission is to increase mobility for all by improving the safety, efficiency, accessibility, and convenience of our nation's transportation system. Of course, human trafficking is an important research and advocacy topic at MTI for this reason. For example, MTI houses the United States Department of Transportation funded study titled Understanding the Role of Transportation in Combating Human Trafficking in California, which was conducted by me. Of course, this research highlights the groundbreaking work of VTA at many levels. Another example is that MTI is also a partner or the National Outreach Survey for Transportation under the Human Trafficking Impact Award, where I serve as the chair of the First Labor Working Group and also Analytics Working Group member. And again, of course, VTA is another partner for this work. We are excited to work with VTA and the Office of Women's Policy on this critical initiative. We will evaluate VTA's efforts both qualitatively and quantitatively. A detailed summary of VTA's pre-existing anti-trafficking activities, which were already in place prior to the FTA grant, was already submitted. An assessment of VTA's effectiveness for transit training, community outreach activities, and collaboration will also be conducted. Examples of these evaluations include community outreach and education meetings, video education materials, VTA Alerts app, and public awareness campaigns. The evaluation will also include a hands-on exercise of riders' assessment of human trafficking knowledge before and after VTA's educational materials. We look forward to our continued partnership to combat human trafficking in our community. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. The Minetta Transportation Institute, their studies and their work really supports the transportation industry across the country and actually across the world. And they do a lot of work with the industry, particularly with other organizations. And we are so very lucky to have them in our backyard here in Santa Clara County. The Federal Transit Administration is actually funding this work of $350,000. VTA will also be supporting that with an additional $150,000 as well. The grant timeframe is over 3 years, but that doesn't end our commitment to continuing to educate the community and our riders. The initiative will be built into our framework, and I hope you will support us in getting the word out about the Human Trafficking Happens Everywhere campaign. And VTA wants to help stop that. As mentioned, this is so absolutely critical and unacceptable that this still goes on. And we are very happy to work with these partners and the rest of the industry in supporting awareness of human trafficking and to help this epidemic end. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
We have a little demonstration of the app that we have. If you can look at that screen, I'm going to put it up on the screen for the cameras who didn't get it earlier. I'm going to put that up. Stand by just a moment. Yeah. Carla, can you put that one? Thank you so much. Okay, so on your mobile phone, if you go to VTA Alerts, you ski at the bottom where it says Report a Problem, tap on that, select Report Type. You see a long list of issues that you can select, and almost halfway down you'll see human trafficking. You can specifically report human trafficking. You go to select a report location, either on a bus route or a light rail line or some other VTA property. So say you're on particular bus route number 42. You can choose to report it as anonymous if you like, or keep it not anonymous and it will send your cell phone number. And then you click at the bottom, send report. You can also add a photo. If you have, say you want to take a photo of what you think might be a suspect, and you can have that there, include it, take a picture, use the photo, and it will be included in your report. So pretty simple, very discreet for those who want to try and help us with this this awareness. And we urge everyone to download VTA Alerts from wherever they get their apps. Keep it on your phone when you're riding on transit. Thank you very much for coming today.